Labor is keeping up the attack on Gladys Berejiklian after a week of stunning revelations and public humiliation. But the Premier's ministerial colleagues deny there are any plans to replace their leader.
Staying as close as possible to the week of turbulence in the Premier's office.
Last week's budget was so full of shonky, inflated dollar figures, I thought at first I was looking at a Badgerys Creek land deal.
What we've seen this week isn't about whether Gladys Berejiklian works hard. It's about trust and integrity in public office.
The Premier now hounded by discrepancies over the date of her dates with Daryl Maguire. The Treasurer among the crowd at the Everest today, but senior ministers insist they won't be punting on a new leader.
We've heard she knew exactly what Daryl Maguire was doing. She knew and she did nothing.
We need Glad. We need her now more than ever before.
Premier, this evidence, repeated again at ICAC this morning, this conversation with Daryl Maguire, you say, he says, William tells me we've done our deal, so hopefully that's about half of all that gone, referring to his $1.5 million debt, and you say, I don't need to know about that bit. Why did you say I don't need to know about that bit, Premier?
Oh, Mr Clennell, I answered those questions during 6 hours of public evidence on Monday, so I refer you to that. I've done nothing wrong, and I refer everybody to my evidence on Monday. And I also say this, Mr Maguire was in Parliament for nearly 20 years. Many of us trusted him, and many of us have been let down by him.
OK. In 2018, he left Parliament because of corruption allegations. Why did you not go down to ICAC then, or have your lawyer write to ICAC and say, I've been with this man and I'm aware of his land deals. You are the Premier after all.
Can I just say this, that I have been absolutely overly cooperative with ICAC from the outset.
In 2018?
All I will say is this, you cannot disclose many of the proceedings that happen behind closed doors, but I will say this, that I've been overly cooperative.
Did you speak to them in 2018? Did you speak to them in 2018?
Again, I've said this, that it's important to respect the processes, and can I say this, it's really, really important, because if you breach any of the processes, it is not a good thing.
On any of the... Except the telephone number concerned is now disconnected, so no one could contact you on it anyway?
I don't want to comment on that.
In 2018, you went 8 times to the Wagga Wagga by-election campaign. On any of those occasions, did you see Daryl Maguire? How many?
I have always conducted my official business officially, and I've made that distinction very clear. Private is private.
So you didn't see him? Are you saying you didn't see him, Premier?
What I'm saying is that I've always conducted my business officially.
No, you're not answering the question, Premier, sorry. Are you saying...
Not to my recollection.
These actions that you've undertaken, saying, I don't need to know that bit, stay away from me, these conversations on the tapes, and the fact you only ended the relationship with Daryl Maguire once you'd been to a private hearing of ICAC, they indicate that you're a leader who's not about right or wrong, but whether or not she'll be caught.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I strongly refute that.
When you said you weren't surprised at how much the land deal would reap on the phone call, didn't any part of you say, this could end badly?
Look, I just ask you to refer to my public evidence, which was in full view over the course of 6 hours on Monday.
Do you still think it's okay for MPs to lobby for land deals while they're in the Parliament?
Look, I've always said that I am more than happy to consider arrangements that increase the accountability with which MPs are held, and I'm always happy to consider recommendations, whether they're from integrity bodies or from members of Parliament, to further put restrictions on the activities of MPs.
You didn't want to know because he hadn't been appropriate with his disclosures, did you?
I'm sorry, I've already answered that question.
You didn't want to know, Premier, did you?
That is not correct.
You said you didn't want to know, Premier.
That is not correct.
What's the test for you to resign?
When I've done something wrong.
Did anyone from your office ask Natalie Ward this morning to ask a question of the Commissioner in relation to the accidental leaking of the transcript?
I'm not aware of what's gone on this morning.
Has your office not told you they asked Natalie Ward to ask that question?
Honestly, I'm not aware. I actually have been preoccupied with COVID this morning, made sure I got a briefing, and also made sure that I was advised about the 3 aircraft that are landing in New South Wales from New Zealand, which is a big deal today.
If a scandal came out before the last election, would you have won?
I can't look into a crystal ball.